Their quarterback, number 12, Joe Ferguson, throwing to Frank Lewis, having his best year with 70 receptions. On the ground, the attack is led by number 20, Joe Cribbs, with a total of 1,700 yards, both rushing and receiving. Buffalo with a record of 10-6, third in the East. They are a wild card team. And in Shea Stadium today, with the winner hoping to go to the Super Bowl, the Jet defense, the New York Sack Exchange. Mark Gastineau with 20 sacks. Joe Klecko had 20 and a half. Offensively, quarterback Richard Todd having his finest year, throwing to Jerome Barkham, the touchdown pass that won the Miami game. The Jets' record is 10-5-1 after losing their first 3 games. They are the hottest team in the NFL. That is the matchup, the wild card game here at Shea Stadium today. It is cold. We've had a drizzly rain all morning. Hello, everybody. This is Charlie Jones and Lynn Dawson.
You know, Charlie, the importance of the game has been talked about, the matchups, the weather, it's all been talked about, but I believe the momentum of the game and the way the game is going to go depends on who scores first. The reason I say that is because both teams possess great defensive teams. The Jets are number 1 and Buffalo is number 3. So for the Buffalo Bills, they don't want to get in a position where that sack exchange can go after him. So what it amounts to, the team that scores first is the team I think is going to win.
Sports presents the best of the National Football League, the American Football Conference Wild Card Playoff game. Today from Shea Stadium, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Mazda Cars and Trucks. The more you look, the more you like their outstanding value. By America's full-service bankers, ready to serve you where you see this symbol. And by RCA. From their 9-inch color tracks to their giant projection TV, RCA will open your eyes. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Charlie Jones along with Lynn Dawson. The wild card game, Shea Stadium. The New York Jets have won the toss. They'll be receiving. That means that Nick Mickemeyer will be kicking off for the Buffalo Bills, either to number 87, Kurt Stone, or number 42, Bruce Harper. A drizzly day in New York. And we're underway the first step towards the Super Bowl. Bruce Harper on the return. Fumble. Picked up by the Buffalo Bills. Into the end zone. It is number 26. Charles Rome, defensive right cornerback. What an unbelievable turn of events. 26 yards as Bruce Harper fumbled and Rome scored.
Charlie, right away, a big play. The first one out of the box. Harper is going to get hit. The ball is going to be caught loose. See right there, 62 is the man that hit him, and I think that's Irvin Parker.
Right.
Rome's 26 picking it up, dancing along the sidelines, and the Buffalo Bills, 26 yards for a touchdown. They are on the board in a hurry. 16 seconds have just elapsed in the first quarter.
And Mickemeyer, who just kicked off for the extra point attempt, it is good. And suddenly it is Buffalo 7, the New York Jets nothing.
Charlie, did you notice the crowd before the kickoff? They were so enthusiastic, and all of a sudden it went dead silent after that one was recovered. We'll be back.
It took them 16 seconds. The New York Jets with only 27 turnovers in the regular season, third fewest in the NFL. This possibly the most costliest of all. Number 26, Charles Rome, matched his number, 26 yards, scooping up the fumble, going into the end zone. Buffalo leads 7-0. Deja vu as Mickemeyer kicks off only 16 seconds later. And it's Harper again, same spot, 6-yard line. This time he holds on to it as he's down in the neighborhood of the New York 32-yard line. We'll take a timeout. The Bills lead 7-0 with more than 12 minutes left, first quarter. This is Charles Rome, defensive cornerback. Member of the special team. Took the opening kickoff fumble by Bruce Harper, returned it 26 yards for the Bills touchdown. They lead 7-0. First opportunity in offense now from their own 32-yard line. Ferguson sets very quickly and throws to Jerry Butler. And he is brought down by Donald Dykes, who is starting at defensive left cornerback. He was spotted at the 37, a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Offensively, Ferguson, Cribbs, and Roosevelt Leaks in the backfield. The receivers, Butler, Lewis. The tight end is Mark Bramer. And that offensive line has allowed the quarterback, Joe Ferguson, to be sacked only 16 times this year. That is the fewest in the NFL. Change at right guard. Borchardt starting for Doble. 2nd and 5. Roosevelt Leaks. He is met by Mark Gastineau. Give him a yard to the 38. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Charlie, I think talking about the weather, we had an indication right there that there was a little slipping going on out there by Roosevelt Leaks. The defense for the New York Jets, you've heard a great deal about them. They lead the NFL in sacks. Gastineau, Salam, Lyons, and Klecko. Klecko will be watching to see how that ankle is. Buttle, Blinka, and Mel, the linebackers. And in the secondary, we've got Dykes, Holmes, Troy, and Ray. Donald Dykes playing that left cornerback position, and right away, the Buffalo Bills went to work on him.
3rd down and 4. From the shotgun. Ferguson has time. Overthrows. Hit. Incomplete. Darrell Way went up for it. Could not pull it down. And the Bills will be kicking.
He had it in his hands. Here we're taking a look at that defensive line. We're trying to single out, see how Klecko is doing. They had an exchange there. 93 is Lyons coming in, putting some pressure on Joe Ferguson. He got the ball up in the air, and it should have been intercepted. Right? Darrell Ray's hands. Had he intercepted, he had the sideline to run, and he could have scored perhaps. Looking around the league, I guess some of these receivers are getting much better with age. Jerome is 31 years old. Frank Lewis, 11-year veteran for the Buffalo Bills, has had his best year ever. Charlie Joyner, San Diego, the same thing. Play pass.
From the 30-yard line.
Got it.
He's there. Got it. Wesley Walker right in his hand. He beat Mario Clark. Had a step on him, and the pass was perfect.
Great call and a great throw, but the problem was he did not come up with a football. Hit him right in the numbers. An excellent call, an excellent throw. You'll take a look at it right here. 85, Wesley Walker. Is the ball coming right in his hand? Can't ask for anything better than that. He will think about that, but he should. They ought to get right back to him, get the ball back to Wesley Walker as soon as possible. So
52-yard field goal attempt by Pat Leahy. Career longest is 49 yards. Will it carry? Does not make it. So Leahy comes up short from 52 yards away, and Buffalo takes over at the line of scrimmage. And we'll be back in a moment as the Bills have the lead, 7-0. 8:52 left to go, first quarter. Jerome Barkham, his last touchdown reception, won the Miami game, bothered by a hamstring. 7 touchdown receptions on the year.
Also, might remind the folks that Lamb Jones also has got a hamstring problem. He is not in the ball game, or has been in the ball game yet.
Buffalo now from their own 34-yard line. Ferguson sets and throws. Pass is complete. Frank Lewis. And Lewis is out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
You can see that Ferguson is yelling because the ball was not snapped on the count that he wanted it to. 73, Joe Klecko. You can see that he is definitely limping, but he does get a shot in at Joe Ferguson just as it releases the football. 26, Donald Dykes, they're working on him. Frank Lewis comes out the slip. And I told you about the field. It was going to be a problem out there today. Dykes did slip. Lewis was wide open. He got the football and the first down for the Buffalo Bills.
And Frank Lewis got a club record this year of 70 receptions, 1,244 yards. Second back through is Joe Cribbs. From the 48-yard line, following that gain of 14, Marty Lyons makes the tackle at the 50. A gain of 2, it'll be second down and 8.
If either of these teams could get a running game established, they would definitely have a big advantage. That field out there is going to get slipperier as the ball game goes along.
How hard to get a running game started on a mushy field?
Well, timing is so important, and if you just have a fraction of a second that you're late in getting to the hole, that hole isn't there too long, Charlie. You've got to get there in a hurry and get through it.
Ferguson to throw. He's in 5 out. Pulled down by Frank Lewis. Lewis to the 20, to the 10. Lewis scores from 50 yards away. 3 plays.
Ferguson has been excellent so far in this ball game. I said handling the slippery ball is going to be a problem for some quarterbacks. It hasn't been for Joe Ferguson. 73, Joe Klecko trying to apply some pressure on him. The sack exchange is putting pressure, gets to him, but not before he gets rid of the football. And an outstanding catch by this man, Frank Lewis, number 82. Up in the air he's going to go, and now Frank still maintains that great speed that he had when he got out of Grambling College 11 years ago, and he's going to get into the end zone and give the Buffalo Bills right now a 13-point lead prior to this extra point try. What a great year Frank Lewis is having.
Extra point is up. It is good by Mickemeyer. So it is Buffalo 14, the Jets nothing. That drive took 55 seconds. It covered 66 yards in 3 plays. The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service for the National Football League.
3 plays, 66 yards, 55 seconds. Buffalo has scored in a hurry, and count that up to Joe Ferguson and Frank Lewis, because that yardage was made by those 2 players. And they've been working on Donald Dykes, that left cornerback. All the throws that they've made have been to that side.
Nick Mickemeyer kicking off. Kurt Sohn and Bruce Harper set for the return. Bruce Harper. And Harper is down around the 28 or the 29-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. We'll go back to the touchdown.
Joe Ferguson back to throw. And you can see the offensive center, Grant, is looking around for somebody to pick up. A good throw. It's up in the air for Frank Lewis, number 82. And as I said before, he still has that great speed that he had when he got out of Grambling College 11 years ago. He's just like fine wine, getting better with age.
And this will be the first time that Lewis has been named to the Pro Bowl. Down goes over, 3rd and 6. Line of scrimmage, the Jet 45-yard line. The score, Buffalo 14. The New York Jets nothing. The Bills scoring on a 26-yard fumble recovery, the opening kickoff, and then a 50-yard touchdown pass from Joe Ferguson to Frank Lewis. 14-0 in the wild card matchup with 5:44 left to go, first quarter.
They got the blitz on. Gets it off. Look
and
out.
It's intercepted at the 39-yard line by Rufus Best. Best replacing Rome. He returns to the 13-yard line.
They had the blitz on that time, Charlie, and Richard Todd got rid of the football long before he wanted to get rid of it. Just threw it right into the stomach of Rufus Best. Here it is. The blitz is on. He gets rid of the football. He was looking downfield to 85 Wesley Walker, but the pass was not anywhere near.
49 yards on the interception return, and Richard Todd with the most interceptions in the NFL last year, 30, cut it down to 13 during the regular season. And here comes Rufus Best.
And Richard Todd saved a touchdown.
They'll mark it at the New York 12-yard line. The Bills could blow it wide open here. Bobby Jackson is now in at defensive left cornerback. Roosevelt leads. A yard to the 11th. 2nd and 9. Mark Gastineau and Abdul Salam stop him at that point.
And I think you noticed that Roosevelt Leaks, when he was running and tried to cut, just was sliding out there because of the turf. Total defense, New York Jets leading 304 yards. Well, they better put it together right now because they're down by 14 points with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Ferguson to throw. Knocked away. Jerry Holmes with a defensive play and the finger pointing.
Ferguson was looking to Frank Lewis, but that ball, even if it had been caught, would have been caught out of bounds. Ferguson just getting rid of the ball, making sure that he doesn't take a sack or trying to worry about interception. As you can see right there, they're right by the out-of-bounds line. I doubt if he'd have had both feet in bounds. And number 47, Holmes, said, at least that time, Mr. Lewis, I had you covered.
Ron Jesse comes in. The Bills now with 3 wide receivers. Lewis, Jesse, and Butler. Third in line at the 11-yard line. 5 men in the secondary for the Jets as Kirk Springs comes in from the shotgun. Pressure. He's throwing it away, and it is almost a touchdown. Joe Cribbs diving for it. Abdul Salam trying to pick up the first sack for the Jets.
Do you know how strong your arm has to be to have somebody grab you by the legs and still throw that ball downfield some 30 yards? Ferguson was able to do that. Salam had him by the ankles. He's almost had possession of him. You can see right here, and he still gets rid of the football. Throws it. There's no leg movement at all. Almost gets it to Cribbs. Almost makes a diving, spectacular catch.
From the 19-yard line, a field goal attempt at 29 yards, well within the range of Vic Nickemeyer. Out of the hole of Robinson, and it is good. So the Bills pick up 3 more points. They now lead 17-0 with 4 minutes and 36 seconds still remaining in the first quarter. The winner here, of course, moves on to Cincinnati. That game will be played next Sunday. And next Saturday, the San Diego Chargers will be at Miami.
Charlie, I had mentioned early in the pregame show that the team that scored first definitely was going to have an advantage. For Buffalo, they didn't want to be behind because they'd be face throwing with the football and have to worry about that New York sack exchange. For the New York Jets, they got behind very early. Now we're going to see about them having the ability to overcome adversity. They haven't been in this situation before. They've been in playoffs in 12 years. They're down by 17 points right now. They've got to start making things happen pretty soon. It's still the first quarter. There's still plenty of time left, but they've got to start moving the football. And I think you go back to a dropped pass. Wesley Walker in the end zone when they were down 7-0. What effect that might have on this football game?
In the first quarter during the regular season, the Jets gave up a total over the 16-game regular season of only 37 points. They have given up 17 here. The Bills, by the way, have had an excellent first quarter, outscoring their opponents almost 2-1. Bruce Harper on the kickoff return. And he is out of bounds around the 32 or the 33-yard line. So the potent Buffalo offense takes over with good field position on their own 30-yard line, and they have been able to move on the New York Jets.
And they've been moving through the air, doing an outstanding job. Frank Lewis has done a great job so far. They've been working on 26. Donald Ikes, he has been taken out of the ball game. Bobby Jackson, number 40, is playing that position now.
Buffalo leads at 17-0. 2:46 left to go. We're in the first quarter. Ferguson high over the middle, pull down, first down. Tight end Mark Bramer, who has had only 2 receptions in the last 5 games, no receptions in the last 3, picks up 15 yards. Dan Blanco with the tackle. 45-yard line, first down. Buffalo 17 points that the Jets have given up. That is about what the Jets normally over the regular season give up in a complete ball game. Recognize that? That's a Super Bowl ring. Jeff Richardson. That was 1969 Super Bowl, the regular season 1968. Super Bowl III at the Orange Bowl. Joe Cribbs, left side. From the 45 to the 48, a gain of 3. Second and 7 as Salam, Lyons, and Klecko were all there for the defense.
We've been all this time. We're still in the first quarter. We still have 1:48 counting down in the first quarter, Charlie.
Had a lot of scoring.
What the Jets have to do, they've got to get a turnover.
Ferguson has completed 4 of 7 passes for 83 yards. Touchdown pass of 50 yards to Frank Lewis. Ferguson from the University of Arkansas fires close to the first down. This is Roosevelt Leaks coming out of the backfield.
I believe he's going to get the first down, just enough. They'll bring the chains out. It's going to be very close, but I think just enough for the first down.
See what Ferguson was doing? He was throwing to the outside to Frank Lewis early. Now, assuming that they're double covering Frank Lewis out there, he's going back into the inside. He's taking what the defense gives him.
That Buffalo Bills offensive line, in 6 games this year, did not allow a sack of their quarterback Ferguson. They have not allowed one today. You were right, just barely.
I didn't know it was that close. But here it is. Back in the pocket, Ferguson. Good protection by his offensive line, and just looking for the man in the open spot. That's Roosevelt Leaks, number 48. Quickly brought down by Stan Blinken, number 54, but just enough for another Buffalo first down.
Just outside the New York 45-yard line. The crowd here is not lost hope. Kramer, the tight end, shows motion. Frank Lewis again. Lewis to the 27-yard line. A pickup of 18 yards on the play. Bobby Jackson and Ken Troy make the tackle. First down, Buffalo.
I think you can see what the game plan is. Go over to that left side of the Jets. Now 40, Bobby Jackson slips, much like Donald Dykes did earlier in this first quarter, and that left Frank Lewis wide open. Well, what a year he has had. 70 catches coming into this ball game.
And in this ball game, 3 for 68, including a touchdown. Whistle sound. 9 seconds on the 30-second clock. 9 seconds on the game clock. They're calling delay of game. But the 30-second clock shows 9 seconds. Now we'll have a conference. There it is.
9 seconds.
No foul. Still first down.
You know what that is called? That is in the NFL official's guide. It's called a whoops.
I'll tell you, if there's a 9 up there instead of a 0, he's going to get the raspberries from the rest of the officials.
All right, so we'll reset it and start it all over again. This is the 13th offensive play of the first quarter for the Buffalo Bills. 9 of the previous 12 have been through the air. Ferguson drops it off over the middle to Roosevelt Leaks out of the backfield. It'll be a first down at the 16-yard line. A gain of 11 yards on the play as Lance Mel and Stan Blinken make the tackle, and the first quarter comes to a close. The score is Buffalo 17 and the New York Jets nothing. Along with Emerson Boozer, this is Charlie Jones and Lynn Dawson. Emerson, of course, you know. I remember the New York Jets when they won Super Bowl III.
Well, he was a great all-around football player.
Yes. Statistical comparison, the Jets have won only time of possession. They've lost everything else. New York 16-yard line. Buffalo has a first down. Play action. Knocked away. It's a fumble. Can be scooped up. But inadvertently kicked by Gastineau. You got a ball on it. The Bills will have the football. The Jets had an opportunity for a big break. Gastineau won at 6 points. Ken Jones recovered the fumble.
That is a big, big mistake by Gastineau. First things first, ball on the football. Then if you can run with it, get up and run with it. But the big defensive end strips him of the football. You see right here, he knocks it right out of his hands. Great quickness by Gastineau to get in there. But once the ball was bouncing downfield, he should have fallen on the football. There it is right there. Gastineau knocking it out of Ferguson's hand. Great coverage. Now he should just fall on the ball. He kicks it, knocks it about 15 yards further. Right there, he should have fallen on the football. That's what they needed. They needed a big break. Gastineau made the mistake of not falling on it.
Second down and 48 yards to go. Ferguson throws. Frank Lewis. Lewis to the 35. Flips the tackle. Picks up a block. Is that a Ferguson block? Yes. Picks up a block from Joe Ferguson. gain of 22 yards. The Bills unstoppable.
Frank Lewis displaying great running ability. Number 12, Ferguson, going back. He's rolling out. He's looking for help now. He goes back against the grain. To Frank Lewis, he's going to run for about 40 yards one way or another, and you're going to see number 12 come into the picture right there. Ferguson throwing a block. Naturally, he went for the man's ankle, so he didn't get hurt if he did hit him.
Lewis this year averaging almost 18 yards a reception. Third down, 25. 3 wide receivers for the Bills. Yard line. Pass is complete to Joe Cribbs coming out of the backfield. A gain of 10, so it'll be 4th down and 15. And Nick Mickemeyer comes in with a field goal attempt. Upcoming Lance Mel with the last tackle.
Here's a zone defense. You can see everybody's just backing up, preventing the long throw. So Ferguson went to Cribbs and picked up about 10 yards. But what he did, he put his field goal kicker in field goal range. Couple of plays.
27-yard line and attempt at 37 yards. The Buffalo offense able to move anytime they want to. It is short from 37 yards away. So the Jets will take over at the line of scrimmage, which is the 20-yard line. Just over 12 minutes left to go in the first half. The Bills lead 17-0.
The Jets, they got the ball moving, and they need to score badly. Look out.
It is intercepted. Bill Villapiano with the interception. Third turnover by the Jets. 2 interceptions. A fumble recovery for a touchdown, and an interception that was wiped out by a penalty.
Bad judgment on Richard Todd's part, trying to get that ball in between 2 defensive men. Villapiano was there. He's trying to go to Gaffney.
And here it is. Villapiano, the Bills have the ball. We'll be back in a moment. Bill Villapiano, turn around, Phil. There you go. Congratulations. And stand up. You want an ovation? Phil, sit out. Just got an interception. He picked it off at the 24, 17 yards in return. Buffalo has the ball at their own 41-yard line. Pass is complete to the 46-yard line. Roosevelt Leaks with the reception. Ron Crosby with the tackle, a gain of 5, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
Channel 4 in San Antonio, KMOL TV.
This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. We're in the second quarter of the AFC wildcard game. Buffalo out in front of the Jets by a score of 17-0 with 7:37 left to go in the first half. Cribbs still manages a yard. Gastineau with the tackle.
Bear in mind that Gastineau plays the left defensive end. He went all the way over to the right side to make that tackle. That shows the extreme quickness and speed that this big man has. He is a very emotional player. In the introductions, he was the first one introduced when they introduced the defense. And he was going bananas out there. Thought he was going to hurt himself.
At the Green Bay game, they were the same thing. They were going for the high five. Randy Rasmussen said, "I'm really afraid that that defense is going to get hurt and the player going to go." 3rd and 4 from the shotgun. Cribbs, 30-yard line, a stop and go. Just inside the 25. Lance Mel makes the tackle. 29 yards on the play, and watch the move that Cribbs puts on after he catches the ball.
Here you're taking a look at the zone. You can see the defensive backs really getting depth, and Cribbs comes behind the linebacker in that open area. The defensive backs are some 5 or 6 yards away. They are preventing the long ball, but they're creating some gaps in between, in front of them, and that's what Cribbs found, that opening spot. A good pass by Ferguson. This shows why Cribbs is so valuable to this football team, because He has such versatility.
At the New York 25-yard line, first down. Roosevelt leaks. We're giving 4 yards on the play. It'll be second down 6 as Salam and Lyons make the tackle. Ron Crosby is now the middle linebacker for the Jets as Blink has come out. So Buttle, Mel, and Crosby, the 3 linebackers, and they are all from Penn State that you will see in the Fiesta Bowl against USC on January 1st.
One of the reasons Crosby is in there because he is better against defending against the pass, they think, than Blinka. And Buffalo has been throwing the ball on first down.
Conrad Dobler now checks in to the offense. He's at offensive right guard. Borchardt started there. Ferguson has completed 11 of 14 for 186 yards and a touchdown. Roosevelt leaks. The flag is down. Leaks goes to the 14-yard line. That will pick up the first down as the play stands up. Greg Buttle was there for the Jets, but there was a marker dropped on the far side. An iffy 13 yards, but you can erase it. That is the 4th penalty that the Buffalo Bills have been called on. We'll mark it out to the 26. The down will go over. It'll be second and 11.
Illegal formation, offense, number 70, not up on the line of scrimmage.
The call on Joe Devlin, the right tackle, as you heard it.
Bills will be able to even overcome penalties. I don't believe they haven't punted yet in this first half, have they?
No, I don't think so. One time, have you punted one? Yes, they punted one time. Second and 11. Touchdown. Frank Lewis, that is his second touchdown reception of the game.
The New York Jets had the blitz on. They were coming after Ferguson. He was able to get that ball off and threw a perfect strike to 82, Frank Lewis. Second touchdown of the afternoon.
This one covered 26 yards.
That's a great shot. Right into the arms of Frank Lewis, number 82. He's working on Bobby Jackson, number 40. Looks him in the eyes and just runs away from him. There's nobody in the middle. See, there is no help in the middle from a safety because the blitz was on and the safety was up to the line of scrimmage.
That makes it 23-0. Extra point to come. And it is good. So Buffalo out in front by a score of 24-0. And that New York defense has not been able to put pressure on Joe Ferguson. They've had only 1 sack today, and that was on a broken play. We'll be back in a moment. Frank Lewis, we mentioned earlier, having his greatest year. Well, he's having his greatest day. Look at this. 5 receptions, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And his quarterback has completed 12 of 15 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. Joe Ferguson. Goes out of bounds 5 yards. We'll bring it back to the 30-yard line. Kurt Sohn just kind of, it's like a third baseman watching that bunt wanting it to roll.
Well, he made a good move of letting it out of bounds because they're going to have to kick over again.
Roosevelt Leaks was hurt just a moment ago. They're administering to him on the sideline, and we'll try and have a report.
Rather subdued right now. It's not like the Jet defense that came onto the field to start this football game. That scoring drive, 5 plays, 59 yards, 26-yard pass to Frank Lewis. His second of the afternoon was a touchdown. We still have 4:56 remaining in the first half.
It has been a blue afternoon. Blue for the Buffalo Bills, but really blue.
Been very grim
for the New York Jets. The Bills, of course, their colors are blue, red and white. Kurt Sohn on the return. And Sohn returns the tackle for the Buffalo Bills. 28 yards on the return by Kershaw.
The Jets have to throw. They've got to put that ball up in the air. 4:47 remaining in this first half. They're down 20.
3 minutes left to go. First half. Buffalo 30-yard line. First half. Deep into coverage, and it is caught. Mickey Schuler, the tight end. That is Schuler's first reception of the year. He had no receptions during the regular season. He's out most of the year with that shoulder separation.
Mickey Schuler coming in, making the out move, now coming to the inside and makes an outstanding catch. Defensive man really had pretty good coverage on it, but he came up with the football. Boy, if the Jets ever needed a touchdown, they needed it right there.
52-yard drive in 4 plays. Add one more. We have a 24-7 ball game. The Jets, as Liz said, now have something to cheer about. So do the fans, finally.
That is an excellent area for the tight end because generally the tight end is going to get man-to-man coverage. Richard Todd going back to throw. Looking to his right. Knows where his receiver is. Comes back to his left. Gets the ball out. Let's take a look and see what Richard's reaction is to the touchdown. Pulls up his pants. Nothing to it. Nothing. Looks like it's... Excellent throw, right on the mark. Number 82, Mickey Schuler, coming up with a touchdown that they badly needed. Steve Freeman, number 22, the safety, was right there. 82, Mickey Schuler. Now watch, he's going to look to the outside with his head, hoping to take that defensive back and move him out in that direction. Then he cuts back to the inside.
Richard Todd with 25 touchdown passes during the regular season, one less than the New York record held by Namath and Doro. Leahy will be kicking off. Curtis Brown and Rob Riddick set for the return. Roland Hook not in there as the return man, bothered by a rib problem. Two-yard line. Curtis Brown. To about the 29-yard line on the return where Kenny Neal makes the tackle. 26 yards on that return. Next weekend, of course, the playoffs continue. The winner here today will move on to Cincinnati. That is next Sunday. And on Saturday, the Miami Dolphins will be hosting the San Diego Chargers, all on NBC. Curtis Brown has replaced Roosevelt Leaks in the backfield. Leaks with a pinched nerve.
Look at that. The crowd is so noisy that they can't hear the audibles or the checking off at the line of scrimmage.
Incomplete. Mark Kramer, the tight end, intended receiver. Ken Stroy broke it up.
The crowd can definitely play a big part in a football game. That last time when Ferguson was calling the signals at the line of scrimmage, the offensive lineman, who was only a couple of yards away from him, couldn't hear what he was saying.
Hey, he's been hanging around for a couple of days, hasn't he?
The quickness of 99 Gastineau. It's a draw play. The man gets by, but he has the quickness to come back and make the tackle for a couple of yards lost.
Ferguson has completed 12 of 16 for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interception. Coming up with a 2-minute warning. He has been sacked one time. We'll be back in a moment. 2 minutes to go, first half. Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. Looks like a blowaway. Buffalo 24, Jets 7. The Jets defense can get something going here. Another touchdown or a field goal before the half. They have the crowd behind them. They could get back in it, but it's a long shot. The Jets defense is ranked number 1 in the AFC in total defense. Buffalo's offense is ranked number 4, so that's quite a matchup. Here's the crowd.
They've been waiting a long time for the Jets to get into the playoffs. 12 years, as a matter of fact. They want something to happen right now. They want that defense to hold.
The reason for the delay is that the official game clock has to be reset. Now, there's a man that doesn't have both oars in the water. I tell you. We have an official time given to us that there is 2:15 left to go. There was a timeout called at that point. That's what they're running the clock down to, although they let it run down to the 2-minute mark. And the Jets called a timeout at that point because then they would get the automatic timeout at the end of the play. It is cold here today. In addition, we have a drizzle.
What did you say that person is not one with some...
He doesn't have both oars in the water. That's right. He's paddling with one oar, and it's a short one, I tell you. That means it's going in circles. Now they reset the clock at the 2:15 mark. There's the weather, 32 degrees, going to be 92%. That means that it's raining. Forecast is cold and rain. Surface is grass. And the wind's at 18 miles an hour. 3rd and 9.
Time there was a lot of pressure on Ferguson. He got rid of that football.
Second punt for Cater. First one was 46 yards. Bruce Harper set to the return. Jets ball at their own 35-yard line. A 35-yard kick. No return on the catch. Officials will spot the ball at the 32-yard line. Buffalo in their own territory. Halftime. Brian Fumble to host NFL 81.
Ron Jesse going into the ball game. They'll be going in with 3 wide receivers. Buffalo's looking to get more points before this half is over.
Buffalo with 3 timeouts remaining. The Jets, let's make a correction. They have 1 timeout remaining. Ferguson with all the time in the world completes the trip.
Joe Chris was looking around, Charlie. He was looking around to see who was going to nail him. The ball should have been caught. The linebackers are getting depth. The defensive backs are getting depth, so the area that is open for the Buffalo Bills is in front of the linebackers.
At halftime, Bryant will be checking in with the Philadelphia Giant game, the second wild card game to be played later today. Ferguson hitting 67% of his passes, 12 of 18. Intercepted, Jets to the ball, Greg Bottle. And out of bounds. First turnover by the Bills.
taking a look at zone defense. The defensive back dropping back. He's trying to go in the seam, up in the air. Buttle went, made an outstanding interception. Bringing it back. Now they're at the 14-yard line for the Buffalo Bills. Excellent position to score. Look at that, right? 51. Buttle going up in the air, picking off that ball.
Well, they'll bring 4. They'll drop 7 in the secondary. Schuler could not pull it down. Rufus Best with the coverage. It'll be 4th down and 5. And Leahy comes in with a field goal attempt, a possible field goal attempt. Pat Ryan, the backup quarterback, is the holder.
The way Todd was going over there and talking to Schuler, he must have perhaps thought that he cut the wrong way.
From the 60, an attempt at 26 yards. And it is good. And it's a 24-10 ball game with 43 seconds left to go in the first half.
Todd going back. Now, this is a 3rd down situation. He's got to get a first or get a touchdown. And he's going to Schuler, number 82. An excellent throw. Could have been not an easy catch, but he had it in his hand. He made another outstanding catch for a touchdown earlier in the second quarter. That one they needed badly, but they did not come up with it.
Seconds left to go in the half. Onside kick?
No.
Not as well as the Buffalo offense has been moving.
No. One timeout remaining. 43 seconds.
The Bills open up a 24-0 lead. The Jets now with 10 unanswered points. Just trying to get back in the ballgame.
They're back in it now. They're 2 touchdowns down, and, they got the second half to go.
Riddick and Brown are deep. Riddick.
Hesitates is lost, Charlie, and he hesitated, then he started to go, and when he did get up about to the 15-yard line, he slipped. 39 seconds remaining in the half, and I'm sure Buffalo is going to be quite content to put the ball on the ground and run out the clock.
Al Washington and Stan Blink on the last tackle. Line of scrimmage, the Buffalo 17-yard line.
To the police road. To the police road.
This is a formation that the quarterback will just down the ball.
You can see there's a man 10 yards deep. Anticipation is a fumble. And he is back there to either recover the fumble or make the tackle so that they don't get in for a score.
Stay with us at halftime. Brian Gumbel hosting NFL 81. A look at the first half here. The first part of the first half, Buffalo. The last few moments of the half belonging to the New York Jets. And they'll also check in on the New York story, and the second part of that being the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles that meet later this afternoon. Just waiting for the countdown to make it official. It is Buffalo 24 and the New York Jets 10.
Walt Michaels walking into the locker room at halftime. At least they got 10 points. They're 2 touchdowns down, but they're not out of this game by any shades of the imagination. They've got great speed on the outside, so they can score in a hurry.
On the other hand, the Buffalo Bills, their offense has been able to move at will, and also at the New York Jet defense. It's halftime, Shea Stadium. Bills lead it 24-10.
Hello again.
This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson, and in just a moment, Lynn will be starting the second half. That means that Buffalo will be receiving. Now, what do they have to do immediately?
Well, Buffalo is going to, Buffalo's ahead by 2 touchdowns. They just got to maintain that lead, but I think it's on the other side. The Jets, the heat is on them. That defense has to stop Buffalo to provide the offense of the New York Jets an opportunity to put some points on the scoreboard. They're 2 touchdowns behind, as I said. They've got to catch up before they go ahead.
Offensively, particularly in the first quarter, as we looked at the statistics, and they're not that far apart.
Let's look at this one. Rushing yardage. Bills 11, the Jets 18. So for the Jets, they can't really try to establish any type of running game. The footing isn't that good out there. If they're going to get back in the ball game, they'll do it throwing.
In the first quarter, what was Buffalo doing as far as their passing game was concerned? They were able to move anytime they wanted to.
They were working on the left side of the New York Jets. Donald Dykes was over there. He was replaced by Bobby Jackson. But what happened on a couple of occasions was that they slipped. Now, a slippery field, the advantage is to the offensive man in a passing game because he knows where he is going to go. The defensive man has to react once the offensive receiver makes his final move. And a lot of times the defensive man is going to slip. That's what happened in the first half with the New York Jets.
Now, you could say that the Bills won the first quarter 17-0. The Jets won the second 10-7. But the total statistics show Buffalo out in front by 14.
Well, the final one is the important one. After 60 minutes, it's who is ahead.
Pat Leahy will be kicking off. Curtis Brown and Rob Riddick are set for the return as we get set to open the second half. In case you weren't here for the opening of the ball game, when Buffalo kicked off, Bruce Harper returned, fumbled, Charles Rose picked it up and scored from 26 yards out, and within 16 seconds, Buffalo led 17-0. They've been out in front ever since. Riddick on the run back, and he returns to the 26-yard line where Stan Blinka and Kurt String make the tackle, 22 yards on the return. Offensively, Joe Ferguson, Joe Cribbs. Roosevelt Leaks is now back in there. He has been bothered by a pinched nerve, was replaced by Curtis Brown. But now in the second half, Leaks will be back in. Butler, Lewis, and Bramer, and Frank Lewis, 2 touchdown receptions. And that offensive line of Jones, Lynch, Grant, Borchardt, and Devlin. Buffalo from their own 26-yard line. Joe Cribbs. We'll get a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8. Marty Lyons made the tackle. Defensively, Gastineau, Salam, Lyons, and Klecko. The Jets have only 1 sack. Buttle, Blinka, and Mel. Buttle with an interception that set up a field goal. At secondary, Dykes, Holmes, Troy, and Ray.
Not happy with that throw. He was getting some pressure applied to him by that front 4 of the New York Jets. Even though you don't get a sack, you don't get to the quarterback, if you make him throw the football before the pass pattern really develops, you've done your job. 73, Joe Klecko is playing out there with an injured foot. He is hurting, but he is a gutty man. He's taking his man. Jones is just taking him right back into the quarterback's lap. Shows the strength of Joe Klecko.
Roland hooks in the backfield. Ron Jesse is in, 3 wide receivers. Lots of time. It is complete, far side, Frank Lloyd. And they will mark it right on the sideline marker. Lewis has been averaging 4 catches a game. He has 6 already.
Passing situation. Now they've got to protect their quarterback. Give him time for this thing to develop. Klecko is cut down. Now he's rolling to his right, giving him more time, but he finds the man that he's looking for. 82, Frank Lewis. When you're going well, quarterback to receiver, you have a tendency to look for that man more so than the other receivers. Frank Lewis knows what to do when the quarterback is in a jam. See him come back toward the ball, toward the line of scrimmage. Comes up with the kick.
Lewis, 6 receptions for 138 yards. First down. Cribbs to the 41. Gastineau with the tackle.
That's about as well as they've done on first down running with the football. They picked up about 4 yards on that play.
He's second down and 6.
Gain of 4. Second and 6.
Joe Cribbs, the 5th leading rusher in the AFC with 1,097 yards. Earl Campbell is number 1 in the conference. First year that Earl has not been number 1 in the NFL. I guess you could say that Bum Phillips always coaches the number 1 rusher, because Rodgers at New Orleans topped that honor this year. Second back through is Leaks. Abdul Salam with the tackle. Be a yard shy of the first down.
Well, you got an indication right there from, I think that was Ken Jones, the tackle, showing the coaching staff how far they have to go. They'll send in another tight end into the ball game along with Ron Jesse in a short yardage situation. This would be a time right now for Buffalo, if they wanted to gamble, to go up tight. Here it is out there. Number 80 is Butler, trying to get a block. A lot of pushing and shoving going on out there, and he's lost his footing, trying to make a block.
First down, Buffalo. Roosevelt leads.
Nothing fancy, just straight ahead. They needed less than a yard on that play, and they sent their big fullback straight ahead where the footing, you don't have to worry about the footing. Now here, if they get any movement at all in that offensive line, and you can see the hole, the other back coming through there, half a yard is all that was necessary, and they picked it up.
In the first half, the Bills' offense was a bit more flamboyant than it is here at the starting of the second half. Now they're content to grind it out. They've used up over 3 minutes already.
What the Jets have to do is stop them on first down. This time they're not being conservative.
Pass is complete. They'll mark it at the New York 49-yard line. Mark Bramer, the tight end, caught it, and Donald Dykes made the tackle. Second down and 7.
Well, New York Jets, they're famous for what? Sacking the quarterback and putting pressure on the quarterback. Buffalo was famous for what? Protecting the quarterback. And here it is. This is where the game is played. This is where it's won or lost. In the trenches. You can see Will Grant is looking for somebody to help out on, somebody to block. Finally, he looks at Abdul Salam, and he's going to help out on him. But what Buffalo is doing, they're protecting Joe Ferguson.
And you saw Joe Fleck of the Jets going against Ken Jones, the tackle of the Buffalo Bills. Well, he voted for Ken Jones to bring in the Pro Bowl. In fact, it was the only vote that Ken got. But Joe said he is that good. Flag is down. Leaks with the reception. We'll check out the marker.
I think it's the guy you were just talking about. He tackled Joe Flecko. So they're going to bring it back.
The 11-yard gain will not stand up. Ken Troy is the injured player, the New York Jets.
Holding, number 73, offense.
John Borchardt called for holding. Down goes over. It'll be second down and 12. We'll have an injury timeout. So we'll go away for a moment. It's Buffalo 24, the New York Jets 10. 10 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter. It is still raining. We've had a drizzling rain. Ken Troy has come out of the ball game. Kurt Springs has replaced him. It is second down, 17. Just had the wind knocked out on this report on Troy. Tipped, incomplete. Lance Mel tipped it. And it is incomplete. It will be third and 17.
That ball was thrown well behind the receiver that time. That ball popped up in the air, almost a big play for the New York Jets. Here it is, Ferguson back. The pressure is on him. He gets rid of the football way behind Cribbs.
Johnny Lynn, number 29, trying for the interception. Buffalo has converted 3 of 7 third down opportunities. Intercepted. Greg Buttle has his second interception of the ball game. He had 2 during the regular season. He has 2 today. That is his second turnover by the Buffalo Bills.
This was another pass that he just, the first one that was intercepted was a great interception, but this one he drills it right at Buttle. The Jets have a chance to score. We'll be back in just a moment.
Greg Buttle with his second interception, this time an 11-yard return. Buffalo 44-yard line. Jets have the ball and the first down.
Straight ahead. He's a good straight-ahead runner. He does not fumble the football very often. Straight-ahead blocking is coming right at you. Good block by 65, Joe Fields, the center. Look at him grab that ball with both hands because, as you can see, the defensive backs are trying to tear that ball loose.
Yard line. First down goal to go. Todd McNeil alone. Let's look at the offense. Quickly. McNeil. Second down goal to go at about the 4-yard line. Ben Williams tripped him up.
And he's slipping off, but he almost breaks it. Here it is, looking right at you. 60 Alexander pulling. Here it is, coming straight at you, almost. Comes up. If he hadn't been tripped up there just at the end, he could have jumped into the end zone. With a big gain for the New York Jets.
All right, quarterback, 3-yard line, 3.5 yards about. Who do you go with?
This is the toughest yardage. If you're going to throw the ball with a play pass, now is the time to do it, not on third down.
Second and goal.
He's checking off.
Kevin Law. About a yard away from the end zone. Third down, goal to go.
Chris Ward, Randy Rasmussen, Joe Fields, Dan Alexander, Marvin Powell.
Now there's been a change of right tackle. John Roman has replaced Marvin Dow. Back spasms bothering him again.
1-yard line. Sure that Walt Michaels is thinking they've got 2 downs to get it in. You're looking at Freeman McNeil, who was injured 2 plays ago.
You go with Kevin Long, number 33 again.
They got Harper in there. They may want a quick opener.
No, they want a timeout, get everything organized. Little finger pointing. Now is not the time to point the fingers. Now is the time to regroup and not make a mistake. So we'll take a timeout. It is Buffalo 24, the Jets 10, but they threaten. We'll be back in a moment. Freeman McNeil has 14 yards on 8 carries. Jerome Barkham is not in as a tight end, so that means that Mickey Schuler is the starting tight end and Steve Stevens is the backup tight end. They're both in. Stevens goes in motion, stays wide on the setup. Newton goes in motion. It's a fake. And Todd tries to scramble out of it and gets back to the 2-yard line.
He was looking for Mickey Schuler, and he didn't want to run with that football. He was hoping to get outside. Schuler was blocking and then going to the outside, hoping to get open, but it was not there.
It is 4th down goal to go. They lose a yard to the 2.
Here it is here. Todd rolling out, looking for Schuler, 82. He is not open. Good penetration by the defensive unit of the Buffalo Bills, forcing Todd to put that ball under his arm and go toward the goal line.
Lots of time remaining. 5:35 in the third. Pat Leahy in with a field goal attempt. This will be from the 9, an attempt of 19 yards. He is hit from 26 yards away. He was short from 52. And it is good. Crowd does not appreciate that, but the score is 24 for Buffalo. 13 for the New York Jets. Now with 5:22 left to go in the third. This is Charlie Jones, Lynn Dawson. 5:22 left to go, third quarter. The Jets have now pulled within 11. Do you agree with the field goal attempt?
They had to come away with some points. I said if they were going to throw, the time to do it was on 2nd down to throw that football. They tried to do it on 3rd down, and naturally Buffalo's thinking that too. They're looking for the pass.
Pat Leahy kicking off either to Curtis Brown or Rob Riddick. Riddick about the 18, was hit at the 20, comes down at the 22-yard line.
On the tackle.
The last two field goals by the New York Jets, 26 yards and 19 yards by Leahy, were set up by Greg Buttle interception.
Number 44, top of your screen there, Newton, is excellent on the special teams. And he is what you call the ball man. That is, he just goes wherever the football is. Sacrifices body to try to make the tackle. That time he did.
Buffalo from their own 22-yard line. Ken Troy is back into that defensive set. Joe Ferguson, the quarterback. Almost intercepted. Buttle almost had his third. Leaks the intended receiver.
Roosevelt Leaks slipped and fell down. And that ball hit Buttle right in the stomach, and I'm sure he wasn't expecting it. He's had 2 interceptions already. One was an outstanding interception when he leaped up in the air to make it in the first half. Ferguson going back to throw, and he's looking to throw underneath the linebackers. Steps up, and he's throwing it to Roosevelt Leaks, but you can see right there, Roosevelt slipped to the ground, hit Buttle in the stomach, did not come up with it.
2nd and 10. Ferguson's completed 14 of 25. This one is pulled out. Good reception by Cribb. And then out of bounds. Buttle was there, the first man. Darrell Ray, the second.
That's pretty tough to do, catch the ball over your shoulder when you're only 4 yards downfield. It was an outstanding catch by Joe Cribb. Once again, the protection has been very good for Joe Ferguson.
Gain of 7 to the 29. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Ron Jesse comes in. And Roland Hooks comes in with 3 wide receivers.
New York Sack Exchange has done a great job against a lot of teams, but not necessarily Buffalo Bills.
Third and 3. Pass is complete. First down. Joe Cribb. For Cribbs, that is his 4th reception of the ball game. 19 yards on that play. 64 yards receiving in the game.
This time they're throwing in front of the linebackers. Right here, Buttle, man-to-man coverage on Cribbs. He makes a move to the outside, and generally you're thinking, as a quarterback, you want the linebacker to guard a back because you think it's a mismatch. Because you're a man with the speed and the quickness of Joe Cribbs, you'd want him man-to-man on the linebacker anytime. Ferguson's been intercepted when he tried to throw over Buttle, so now he's rise up, he's throwing in front of him.
4 minutes and 15 seconds left to go, 3rd quarter. Buffalo out in front, 24-13. First down, Bills on 47-yard line. Cribb hit at the line of scrimmage, still scoots to the 50. He picks up 3 yards. 2nd down, 7. Abdul Salam with the tackle.
Joe Cribbs is a very valuable player to the Buffalo Bills. Here it is. He's coming up the line. There's nothing there. Now he's running with his head up, just trying to slip and slide, keeps the legs moving, and he picks up 2 yards when really there wasn't anything there. Conrad Douglas. He is a story.
He's a book. Ferguson all the time in the world. Now he is sacked. Klecko got him. Listen to this crowd. Joe Klecko, the leading sacker in the NFL with 20 and a half during the regular season. Gastineau at 20.
I thought Joe Klecko had a bad foot. Ferguson's looking. He tries to avoid the rush. Marty Lyons coming in there, and you got that big paw on the quarterback by Joe Klecko, and down he goes.
And Mark Gastineau is down. He is the injured player. We have a timeout. It will be 3rd down and 23, a loss of 17.
66 sacks on the year.
The NFL record, by the way, is 67, set by the Oakland Raiders in 1967. Easy to remember.
Buffalo had 47. They were quite proud of the defensive unit because they did an outstanding job this year.
Jets have 2 sacks in the ball game for minus 38. Gastineau had the first one, Joe Klecko the second. The winner here today goes to Cincinnati next Sunday. And, of course, next Saturday, the Miami Dolphins will be hosting the San Diego Chargers, all on NBC. Kenny Neal, the rookie from Iowa State, number 77, has replaced Gastineau. Third down, 23.
I would be very surprised if Gastineau is not back in the ballgame.
Can be intercepted from the 41-yard line. Donald Dart. Flag is down. Dykes is down. Flag was brought to the 21-yard line.
Pressure that Ferguson had. 93 Marty Lyons coming to the outside, trying to chase him down. And he's just buying time now. He throws a bad pass. He should never throw this ball. He should have thrown it out of bounds. Eventually it goes down. 93 Marty Lyons. That'd be a clipping penalty against the Jets on the run back, Charlie.
Personal foul. Clipping.
You're right.
Number 74 on the run back.
On Abdul Salam.
First down.
Dykes had a 27-yard return on the interception.
Here's the play. Now you're going to see 93 Lions chasing him. He's running around. He's going to throw back against the grain from one side to the other. There's no one there except the defensive backs of the New York Jets.
Line of scrimmage, a 3-yard loss. Ben Williams makes the tackle.
Jets better hurry up. There's 15 seconds on the 30-second clock, and they're still shifting back players in and out of the ball game. 10 seconds. Durking now leads.
5 seconds on the 30-second clock. 3, 2, with the snap. Intercepted. Thrown right to the linebacker, or the safety, Bill Simpson.
What happens when there was confusion? They had players running in and out. He had to hurry. To worry about the 30-second clock. They weren't organized and threw the ball right in the stomach of the defensive end.
That is the 4th turnover by the Jets. We'll be back in a moment. 17 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Bill Simpson's interception. He had 4 during the regular season, and Buffalo has the football on their own 19-yard line, and defensively, Mark Gastineau is back in the ball game for the Jets. Roosevelt leads. Gastineau was there, and Greg Buttle was there.
Is Gastineau ever back in the ballgame? I said I would be very surprised if we didn't see him back in the ballgame soon. The quickness and strength of him is really devastating.
Makes the Pro Bowl this year, a number 2 draft choice in 79. 6'5", 276 pounds from East Central Oklahoma. That's in Ada, Oklahoma. Into the third quarter. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. 24-13, Buffalo leading by 11. They have led throughout the game. Their last touchdown to put them up 24-0 came at the 5:02 mark of the second quarter. But since then, the Jets have put up 13 unanswered points. Joe Cribbs. He'll pick up the first down as Jerry Holmes rides him down along the far sideline.
One of the best runs of the afternoon for the Buffalo Bills. Not only pick up good yardage, but they picked up a first down.
Mark it at the Buffalo 30-yard line.
Buffalo would love to get some sort of running game going.
The Jet defense has allowed an average of just over 3 points in the fourth quarter. That is lowest in the NFL.
Well, they're going to be tested now by this Buffalo Bill offense.
Frank Lewis comes wide to the near side. Lewis with 2 touchdown receptions in the ball game. Joe Cribbs. Cribbs will pick up close to 9 yards on the first down.
Now they're getting in the I formation, giving the ball to Joe Cribbs, and he has anywhere that he wants to go, wherever he can see a hole. They're splitting out the receivers wide to stretch out that defense. Blinka, 54. He's being blocked, good block by the center. Will Grant, number 53. Provided that opening there, picked up almost a first down. They've got less than a yard to go for a first down on second.
And remember, Joe Cribbs had 1,700 total offensive yards, rushing and receiving during the regular season. And he'll have the first down, 41-yard line. Mark Gastineau made the tackle.
They're going to the side of number 99, Gastineau, that young man there. And he is 270 pounds, and he's an advocate of lifting weights, which means that he is strong. Let's see if he really is. Is he? Yes, he is. Taking Bramer and throwing him around, he still gets a hand on Joe Cribbs helping in the tackle. But it's a first down for Buffalo.
And Bramer's 6'3", 235. Buffalo lead, 24-13. 12:43 and counting. The winner here will play the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati next Sunday. Frank Lewis has it out of bounds. 42-yard line, maybe the 41-yard line of the Jets. Ken Troy decked him. Lewis is having an unbelievable afternoon as he picks up 18 yards on that play.
The timing between that man, Frank Lewis, and Joe Ferguson was excellent because he threw the ball well before he made his final break. And he's throwing to an area which indicates that these two work together very well. See, it's between two defensive men. Ken Troy eventually coming up to make the hit, knocking him out of bounds. But they do have a first down.
41-yard line of New York. Cribbs. Salam and Lyons with the tackle. 38-yard line. Pick up of 3, second down 7.
Then hard yards, 10 rushes for 38 yards. That's 3.8 yards per try for Joe Cribbs. And bear in mind, in the first half, Buffalo had a total of 11 yards rushing.
4 of the 6 plays of this drive have been on the ground. He overthrows Roosevelt Leaks. Greg Buttle had excellent position on him.
Going to that left side of the New York Jet defense, or to Buffalo's right side, and they're doing two things. They're working on the left cornerback and the linebacker, hoping to get a man behind Buttle. If Buttle is getting depth, then they throw in front of it. If he's up tight, then they throw behind it.
Donald Dykes is at left cornerback. Bobby Jackson was in for a while, but that arm is bothering him again. He had a broken arm in the New England game. Flecko comes limping out of the ball game. Ferguson has completed 17 of 30. Kenny Neal replaces him. 3rd and 7. Jerry Holmes. That is the 4th turnover by the Buffalo Bills, so the turnovers are even, 4 on each side.
He was looking for Butler on that side, but he was just throwing the ball to a spot. And unfortunately for the Bills, that spot was occupied by Jerry Holmes. They've got another big turnover. We'll be back in a minute.
with the interception. There have been 7 interceptions in the ballgame. Todd intercepted 3 times. Ferguson has been intercepted 4. Ramsey to kick that shoe we noticed earlier. That's Ramsey's. He kicks it off and then kicks it his stocking feet. Taken at the 49-yard line by Lou Pacone. And the Bills have excellent field position as Dan Blinka makes the tackle. A kick of only 28 yards. Buffalo is the football. They have the lead. We have 10:28 left. We'll be back. Number 82 for the Buffalo Bills is wide receiver Frank Lewis. 2 touchdown receptions in the ballgame, 1 of 50 yards. If the Bills want to put it away here, they can go deep immediately. So Cribbs goes deep down the sideline. He can bust it all the way. Cribbs, unbelievable 45 yards. Was the flag dropped? Let's check. Touchdown has been the signal.
Touchdown! Personal foul against the defense.
Personal foul against the defense. The touchdown, of course, will stand. Here's another look. 45 yards.
Outstanding run by Joe Cribbs. Roosevelt Leaks coming out in front, making a good block. Now it's down the sidelines, and the foot race is going to be won by number 20, Joe Cribbs, and what they're calling the Jets for is right there. Darrell Ray pushing him in the end zone. He was by the end zone mark. Flag is dropped, and they'll assess that after the extra point attempt. After?
Your sore throat's doing pretty good, though. That makes it a 30-13 ball game. Here's the extra point. It is good. 31-13, a 45-yard drive in one play, and it took Joe Cribbs 12 seconds to maneuver for the touchdown. 45 yards in one play, Joe Cribbs, and that could be it. Buffalo 31, the Jets 13, and the fans start heading for the parking lot. The kickoff, as Lynn noted, the penalty on the scoring play will be assessed on the kickoff. That tells the story from the side of the New York Jets.
Was it 93 Marty Lyons?
Yes. So Mickemeyer kicking off from the 50. Drew Simper and Kurt Stone are the deep backs on the return, but he should kick it through the end zone. And he does. Now let's go back to that touchdown by Joe Cribbs.
High formation. Leaks gets out in front, makes a good block. 82 Lewis is down there. He's getting a good block. Now it's a foot race right now as he jumps outside. And this man has got great speed. Along the sidelines, no one is going to catch it. Although Darrell Ray does give him a little shove after he gets into the end zone. Right there, it's unnecessary, really unnecessary.
Richard Todd has completed 13 of 28 for 163 yards. He's been intercepted 3 times. He's thrown for a touchdown. This pass is complete. Dom Newton on the receiving end. Today's telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited. First down, 32-yard line. Five on the pattern. Dodd goes deep. It's dropped. Wesley Walker drops it. Second time that he has dropped a scoring pass.
That was an excellent throw by Richard Todd. It hit him right in the chest. That is the second time, as you mentioned. Now, if ever they wanted to get back in the ball game, he had to hold on to this one and get the 6 points. It's just a foot race. You see Mario Clark is trying to keep up with him, but with the speed of Wesley Walker, he is there. Whammo. You cannot ask for a better throw than that. I think it goes back early. The first play of the game, a turnover, a touchdown. Wesley dropped one in the first quarter that would have made it 7-7. Richard Todd can do is throw the football. They can just tee off. They just have somebody on that line to play for the draws and the screen. Let the rest of the guys tee off on Todd.
Mickey Schuler tight end. He has the first down at the 47-yard line. Gain of 16. Rod Cush and Steve Freeman bring him down at that point. A lot of time remaining, 8:36 and counting.
You know, Richard Todd's showing me something. You know, even though they're way behind. He's hurt. He's had his ribs broken. He's got a bad ankle. He was hurt earlier in the ball game, but he's really staying in there. He's had an outstanding year. And I believe it's 8:19 and counting down. A little too much to overcome.
5 on the pattern. Going underneath the coverage to Scott Durking. And by underneath the coverage, of course, the secondary and the linebackers, everybody dropping back immediately. And he's throwing in front of them. And the Jets now in a hurry-up offense. 2-minute offense with 8 minutes to go.
Good move. Good move by the Jets. You know, you've got to get up there and get the plays off. You're down 31-13. Get up there and get the plays called. Get as many plays as you possibly can.
2nd and 4. Lots of time. Throws underneath the coverage again. Durking, first down. 38-yard line of Buffalo. The clock moving.
Same thing happening. Get up to the line of scrimmage. There's no secret what you're going to do. You're going to throw the football.
Joe Klecko. He'll be in the Pro Bowl. Leading sacker in the NFL this year with 20.5. Todd throws. He's on target. Bobby Jones. Jones out of bounds. Stopping the clock. 7:20.
I'm sure a lot of people are saying, hey, this looks pretty good. Why didn't they start this in the first quarter? But what Buffalo is doing back there is let them take little chunks at a time. They've got a 31-13 lead. They do not want to give them a quick score. If the Jets are going to score, they want them to earn it and take up some time of that clock. And it's 7 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this football game. 3 timeouts left for Buffalo, 2 for the New York Jets.
And they're throwing at number 29, Mario Clark, far side. This time looking to the opposite side. Flag is down into the end zone is Bobby Jones, but there was a marker on the play. 7:14 on the clock. Flag was dropped to the 12-yard line. Pass interference, refused, touchdown Jets. So it's now a 31-19 ball game.
Bottom of your screen. Taking a look, Jones from the inside. The defensive back lets him get too close to him, and he tries to push him. You're not allowed to do that. Wide open, a good throw by Todd, and it's a touchdown for the New York Jets. Bobby Jones, number 89, come up with several big plays this year. As you see right there, that Holmes is trying to push him downfield. You cannot do that.
Extra point is good. So the Jets pull within 11 points of the Buffalo Bills. 7:14 left. Possibility of an onside kick upcoming. We'll be back in a moment. 80-yard drive in 8 plays, taking the New York Jets just over 3 minutes. The touchdown pass to Bobby Jones. Now, do you go with the onside kick with 7:14 left?
Well, I would, and so I believe Buffalo figures that's going to happen because they have 5 men up there. They're looking for the onside kick.
No, they squib kick it down the field. Picked up at the 13-yard line by Rob Riddick. And he is swamped at the 23. So give him 10 yards on the return.
Bobby Jones came up with a touchdown. Here it is. Richard Todd lofting it up there. Nice throw. Enabling it had good trajectory, giving that receiver an opportunity to follow it all the way, and it just nestles down his head. And did your player on field.
Al Washington, the rookie from Ohio State, taken in the 4th round of the draft. Buffalo, 3 timeouts remaining. The Jets have 2.
I look for Buffalo now to keep that ball on the ground. 11-point lead with 7 minutes to go, or 7 minutes and 3 seconds to go in this football game.
Now, something that we didn't see was kind of out of the corner of our eye, but Darrell Ray, if you will recall, when Cripps scored from 45 yards out, hit him at the back end of the end zone, and you said uncalled for, Ray went over and apologized to him. I'd like to see that.
Well, he should, because, you know,
Boy, here's
a man made a great play. You got, you don't do something unnecessary like that.
He just said he apologized.
Hey, threw him into the wall down there.
All right, here comes Buffalo just outside their own 23-yard line. 7:03. Time remaining. Buffalo on top by 11. Here's Cripps. He's in trouble. Defense has it. A loss of 3. Second and 13. Kenny Neal replacing Joe Klecko. A defensive right end was there.
High formation for Buffalo. They're going to give the ball to Joe Cripps, hoping to find the seam and eat up some of that clock. He lost a couple of yards on the play. You see Joe Klecko, who has been in a great deal of pain all year long. And this week, he has to really be hurting to be standing on the side.
I'll tell you how much pain he's been in. Half of the season, that foot has been so bad that on Sunday afternoon after the game, they put it in a cast. Do not take the cast off until Wednesday afternoon. He practices on Thursday and Friday and plays on Sunday. Flag is down.
Ridge on the pitch out. Next Roy in on the tackle. Flag on the play.
Ryan Gumbel joining us in the booth. He'll be hosting the post-game show from right here in our booth, so we'll get out in a hurry. So against Buffalo. And we said it from Atlanta last weekend. I don't know if you heard it, but congratulations on hosting the Today Show. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Really believe that. I have a couple of things, ideas for you that I'll talk to you about later.
Will Grant, the offensive center for the Buffalo Bills. What that does for the Jets, Charlie, it stops the clock, something that Buffalo did not want to happen.
Third down and 12, 21-yard line. Big play for the Buffalo Bills, leading by 11. If the Jets stop them here, they could come up with excellent field position on a punt return. Incomplete. Lots of time underthrowing Joe Cripps as Greg Buttle had the coverage on him.
Joe Klecko is out of the ball game. Now the main rusher is 99. Gastineau. Good job by Joe Devlin there. Rolling out, Cripps throws the ball, and Cripps wasn't even looking. Cripps was starting to go upfield. But all Ferguson was doing is saving some yardage. He didn't want to get tackled back there.
Greg Cater will be kicking. Bruce Harper is set for the return. Now, you may recall that Harper took the opening kickoff, fumbled it at the 26-yard line. Rome picked it up and went in to score. Buffalo out of 7-0. They've never been headed. Pressure by the Jets. They'll have a 10-man front. And here they come. He gets it off. It's a good one. Harper at the 36-yard line with no blockers. The pressure was on the kicker. And he is decked out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. A kick of 43 yards. 6 yards on the return.
That was an excellent punt under the pressure that Prater was under, because they had 10 men going after that punt, hoping to block it.
5:43, time remaining.
There he is. If ever he needed a punt, that was the time to do it. Number 7. Greg Cater.
Oh, there we are. All bundled up. It has been a cold and wet Sunday afternoon.
I like your hat, sir.
You like that? Well played. Same hat I had on last week. You liked it last week. Todd is sacked. Fumble.
Jets have it.
Third sack of the ball game for the Buffalo Bills. Joe Fields recovered the fumble at the 34.
It's a tough day for number 14, Richard Todd. He's looking the other way, does not see Smearless come in and nail him and throw him to the turf.
Second and 18. 5:15 and counting. Time remaining in the game. into coverage. Flag is down. Intercepted. But there was a marker on the play. It is against the Buffalo Bills. The Jets will have a first down. If it's pass interference, it will be at the spot of the foul. If it's holding, it will be a 5-yard penalty. Still be a first down. And Chuck Knox, the head coach of Buffalo, does not agree.
Number 29.
Pass interference.
First down.
23-yard penalty.
Here it is, the ball coming. Mario Clark coming up with the interception. But it was called prior to that. Number 81, Derek Gaffney was the intended receiver.
Buffalo 46-yard line, first down. 5:08, time remaining. Buffalo leading by 11. 31-20. Over the middle, tight end Mickey Schuler, who has made exceptional catches, goes to the 28-yard line.
And they're in there, hurry up, 2-minute offense. They're getting up to the line of scrimmage and get the play off as quickly as possible. 4:54 remaining in this football game. They're not out of it yet.
18 yards on the play. 5 on the pattern. Dodge over the middle. Schuler again. 13-yard line. Mickey Schuler, the backup tight end to Jerome Barkham, did not have a reception during the regular season.
He's going to get their attention now because he's got some big passes today. Todd is looking at the outside. They're double covering the wide receiver, so he's going to his tight end. Got there.
Jackson out of bounds. 6-yard line. Stopping the clock, 4:18. Time remaining.
4:18. That's a lot of time remaining. They get into the end zone. They don't have to actually onside kick if they get the touchdown.
The Jets have 2 timeouts left. Buffalo has 3.
They take 4 shots at it here, throwing the football.
Seconds of the 30-second clock.
Blitz is on.
4th sack for the Buffalo Bills. Rufus Best with a blitz from the secondary because they'll carry 7 men in that secondary.
Todd blindside. He's looking to his right. He has no idea the man is coming. He's signaling to his receiver to make a move downfield. Best is in there and makes the sack. Big play for the Buffalo Bills.
3rd down, 12.
Somebody blew an assigner on that one.
More pressure. Todd scrambles up the middle. Now he throws wobbly pass. It is caught. Jones, Bobby Jones. It'll be first down goal. The goal clock is stopped. 3:48. 14 yards on the play.
I said it's not over yet. 3:48 remaining. Todd doing an outstanding job of scrambling, gets the ball to Bobby Jones, gets the first down, he gets out of bounds. He's so close to a touchdown. That's less than a look at that where the ball is. 6 inches or so for a touchdown.
Kevin Long and Scott Durkin, the running back. That'll be Newton, the blocking back in that right wing. Kevin Long, he has to get the ball across the plate. He does.
They had to have that touchdown because of the clock. 3:44 remaining.
It is good. 31-27. The margin is 4 points. A 58-yard drive in 8 plays.
Here's a touchdown. Straight ahead, Kevin Long. He's hit before he gets there. 77 Williams hits him. The leg drive right there. Riley's moving right there. Gets him into the end zone for the touchdown. Up on top, the left of his screen try to block, but he's 4 yards deep in the end zone.
Rufus Best shaken up on the play. He's being administered to on the field and about the left 9-yard line. 3:44, time remaining. Buffalo has led throughout the game. They were out in front 24-0. Now do you onside stick?
No.
Okay.
3:44 remaining, 2 timeouts left. You've got time to kick it down there and say to your defense, you got to give us 3 and out.
All right, does Buffalo open up their offense? They've been conservative in the second half.
Depends on where they bring the ball back. You know, if they don't get it back past the 20-yard lines, they may give it to Joe Cribb. My eyes deceiving me.
That's the stadium shaking. We mentioned earlier that they headed for the parking lot. Are you ready for this? The parking lot is now coming back into the stadium. Now, his elevator doesn't go all the way to the top, I'll tell you that. The Bills look for the onside stick. 9 men are up close. Curtis Brown is the deep back, and he's all alone. Number 41 is Phil Villapiano.
That was an onside kick. What he was trying to do is drill it as hard and as low as he possibly could, hoping that it ricocheted off of one of the Buffalo Bills and they could recover.
Buffalo at their own 39-yard line. 3:37 left.
Here is the big play. 1st and 10 is the big play. The Jets defensively must stop it. And for Buffalo, pick up 4 or 5 yards would be an excellent play.
Cribb smothered at the 40. Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. Marty Lyons got it. Dan Blinken was also there. Kenny Neal had a piece of the action.
3:16, 15 counting down. I look for Buffalo to put the ball on the ground once again. The Jets have got to stop it. Then they can call a timeout.
The margin is 4 points. Buffalo leads. Incomplete. Mark Bramer, the tight end, the intended receiver. And it was Donald Dykes who hit him just after he touched the football. 3rd and 9.
2:52. The pass stops the clock. That's a break for the New York Jets.
And here is the play of the game.
Well, he's going to put the ball up in the air once again. He's got to go for the 1st down now.
Ferguson's completed 17 of 33, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has been intercepted 4 times. 3 wide receivers. Frank Lewis, 82. Ron Jesse, 81. Jerry Butler, 80. Throws. Joe Cribb.
Saying when Cribb scored on a 45-yard touchdown that it might be all over. It is not over. 2:47 remaining, 2 timeouts still left for the New York Jets, and the 2-minute warning will be coming up.
Cater's last kick, 43 yards. This time the Jets have a return on.
Good kick.
Good hang time. Almost 5 seconds hang time. Harper on the return. 20-yard line. The Jets 80 yards away. They have to score a touchdown. Hazard tripped him up. A punt of 50 yards for Cater. 5-0 under that kind of pressure.
The other time was 47 yards under pressure with 10 men coming after him. 10 men once again, and he got it off 50 yards.
2:36, time remaining. Buffalo used up only 50 seconds on the clock.
Mr. Todd, 298 yards. Passing, 1 touchdown.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
No, 1. I'm sorry. Bobby Jones set it up.
Look at this.
Mickey Schuler, 40. Schuler to the 49-yard line. Bill Simpson made the tackle. Listen to the crowd. Overthrowing Schuler into double coverage.
He did take a chance there, Charlie. Here's the one that was caught. 82, Mickey Schuler catches the ball. Good pass. An excellent grab by Mickey Schuler. Maintains his balance. Picks up 29 yards on this reception. He had caught a pass coming into the ball game, but he's having a day for himself today. 7 receptions. 1 was good for a touchdown.
2 minutes and 4 seconds left.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. They got to have a touchdown, though. They're down by 4 points.
He's there. He's got him. Bobby Jones. Out of bounds. The clock stops anyway. 1:59. The 2-minute warning will now be given to both pitchers. A pickup of 13 yards on a play and a first down. 1:59 left. Here's the score. Take it away. A quick thanks to our support crew in the booth: Mike Albert, John Gallagher, Steve Dance, Ron Zipkowski, and breathe deep.
Mark
And
Gastineau.
say a prayer.
I guess this what this game is all about, excitement. He's hoping.
Mickey Schuler, the tight end, number 82, 7 receptions, 122 yards, and a 30-yard touchdown. Sack. That is the 5th sack for the Buffalo Bills. Fred Smerlis got this one.
I said early in the ball game they had to control that man. That time they did not.
Loss of 10. Second and 20. Pressure again. Scott Durking, incomplete. Now suddenly it is 3rd down and 20. And the line of scrimmage is the Buffalo between the 48 and the 49-yard line. Minute 43. Gastineau's checking the clock. Two downs to pick up 20 yards. Gaffney. He's got the first down, 22-yard line.
Number 81, Derek Gaffney. An excellent throw by Richard Todd, and he was in a lot of trouble back there because the heat was on. That defensive line of Buffalo knows he has to throw the football. They're going after him.
A gain of 26. Gaffney 4 for 64. Looping it, going out of bounds. Jeff Nixon had the only shot at the reception, and that would have been an interception.
1:04. Time remaining. They have to have a touchdown.
2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line of Buffalo.
Take a look at Walt Michaels and Chuck Knox there.
Two of the best. Two of the best. They have really done outstanding jobs.
Both coached under Reed Eubank, his number of Jet coaching staff.
Bobby Jones is in as a wide receiver. Joe Fields, the center, asked for a change of football. We've had a drizzling rain throughout the day.
Both quarterbacks have done a good job, I think, of handling the football. Todd has done an excellent job in the second half.
Flag is down. That'll stop the clock.
Who has the ball? The ball, Todd never got his hands on it.
Illegal snap on the offense.
Even with a dry football, they had an illegal snap.
Here it is. Todd is moving away. And I see
the field. That is the...
Somebody had a mix-up.
You know, they used to have that play where they would hand it back to him, and I don't think they let him do that anymore since they took away the leather helmet.
I wouldn't know about that.
I know you wouldn't.
That was during your time.
I can remember it. Oh, yeah, yeah. The center was never thrilled when you called it either.
Illegal snap, number 65, offense. 2nd down.
2nd and 15.
They don't have to go on a quick count now.
1 minute remaining in the season for either Buffalo or New York. Incomplete. Bruce Harper could not pull it down. He is 5'8", and the pass was at about 5'10".
85, Wesley Walker coming down and just doing a little turn in or a stop pattern. Harper was the one that was intended for, and Walker was trying to come back and get a hold of it. They're faced now with a 3rd and 15 situation. 55 seconds remaining in this football game.
Walker 3 receptions, 24 yards today. And 2 drop passes that could well figure in the outcome. Blitz coming. Dodd has pressure. Flag is down. Going for the interception was Steve Freeman. There was a marker thrown on the play. Holding against Buffalo.
Automatic first down. 47 seconds remaining. Wesley Walker grabbing onto him right there. Look at his shoulder pads exposed. He had to have a hand on him.
He was stripping him. Costly penalty for Buffalo.
They've had a couple of them. You can see right here the interception.
Holding, number 29, defense, automatic first down.
That's the second, I think, on Mario Clark.
22-yard line.
Right there.
And right there.
Does he have his hand on?
First down. 47 seconds left. Scott Durkee. Jets have 2 timeouts remaining. Buffalo 3. $18-yard line, 2nd and 6. End zone, incomplete. That'll stop the clock. 24 seconds. Mickey Schuler, intended receiver. Steve Freeman and Rufus Best at the cover.
The crowd wanted another yellow flag to fall. They thought something happened to number 82, Schuler. Close together? No penalty. 24 seconds remaining. 3rd down.
6 yards to go for a first down.
They have to have a touchdown.
Margin 4 points. Dodd has thrown for 370 yards. He needs 18 more for the Jets to win. is complete. Durkee. They'll call the timeout now. 11-yard line. 14 seconds. Time remaining. Simpson and Cush with the tackle. First down.
Todd is having a fantastic day. Pressure is on him, and he gets the ball to Scott Durkee, who makes a good reception, lunges forward for the first down. 14 seconds remaining in this football game. The ball is on the 11-yard line. In 14 seconds, I know that you can get 3 passes off. You can probably get 4 passes off in 14 seconds.
That's what Joe Walton, offensive coordinator, was telling Todd and Bobby Jones. Now, let me say it right now. Regardless of what happens in the next 14 seconds, this is the way a playoff game should be. Both teams can walk out with their heads high.
Okay. They won't.
I know.
That shows you something about the character of the Jets, I think. They were down 31-13, and they've come back, whether they get it into the end zone or not. You're right. They've done an outstanding job coming back. And Richard Todd has shown me a great deal this afternoon, that he's definitely matured as a quarterback. He's maintained his composure out there.
And don't discount the Buffalo Bills. They played a tremendous ball game. They capitalized early, and they hold on to that lead. And speaking of holding on, the Jets have had the ball for the last 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Incomplete. Underthrowing Mickey Shea.
Good thing he did, because it was excellent coverage out there. Looking at all the receivers that were downfield for the Jets, they were all well covered by the Buffalo Bills.
10 seconds remaining. Now, they can throw 3 more times. Do you throw into the end zone each time?
Taking a look at the coverage, he is covered well. Number 82, Mickey Schuler.
28, Rufus Best. That's like throwing into a convention, isn't it? No. Back to the question. Do you throw into the end zone?
Yes.
Richard Todd has thrown 49 passes already.
He needs one more.
Second down. Intercepted. Buffalo has the ball. Bill Simpson with his second interception, and that will wrap it up for the Buffalo Bills. Bill Simpson, the free safety out of Michigan State, has the interception. He has the football. 2 seconds remaining on the clock, and that will wrap up a wild card game.
Could have gone either way. If they got lucky there at the end, the Jets very easily could have won the ball game. Simpson was in the right place at the right time. Taking a look at this is from the end zone. Richard Todd looking, trying to find a receiver to throw to. Simpson coming up with the interception.
5th turnover for the Jets. 4 turnovers for the Buffalo Bills.
He was looking for number 81, Derek Gaffney, on the play.
So Buffalo will be traveling to Cincinnati next Sunday. You'll see that game on NBC. Dickenberg and Merlin Olsen will be there. And next Saturday at Miami in the Orange Bowl, Don Criqui and John Brody will be bringing you the San Diego-Miami Dolphin game. And that is it. The gun sounds, that makes it official. The Buffalo Bills win the wild card game. They move on to play Cincinnati, and that wraps up one of the most exciting seasons that the Jets have had in 12 to 13 years.
Well, as you said, both teams could hold their head up regardless of the outcome of this football game, and I think, as I said before, Richard Todd really showed me something as far as maturing as an outstanding quarterback is concerned. He had a great year this year, and they were down. It looked like that they were completely out of it, but they came back. They were within striking distance. They were within 1 pass completion of winning this football game. For the Buffalo Bills, they've had an up-and-down season, but if they get hot now, they could go all the way.
Now stay tuned for the NFL Report.